Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back, everybody. Delta and Blade Vap, welcome. Boulder and Sylveon Strongest Soldier, good to see you. Bootsakoi, hello, hello, hello. Hi, Echo. Hello, Stumbles. Hello, Chyleth. Oh my gosh, so many redeems already. Wait, hang on. Okay, let me catch up here. Blade is on a 45 stream streak, as in the number of days you have left where I send you the Skink of Evil to your unprotected PO box. How was the Nintendo Direct? Really fun. I was busy in the morning, so I didn't get to watch it until I got home. So my phone was getting blown up by people being like, Deltarune in 2 weeks! Boulder is on a 25 stream streak, Skink the Faces of Evil. Chyleth redeemed edit stream title. Remember kids, never skink to someone else's level. You know what? That's a pretty good pun. That's pretty good. Thank you very much. Remember kids, never skink to someone else's level. There we go. It has been updated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Stumbles, thank you for subscribing for 72 months. Hello, DOD Fox and Hero War, good to see you. To the chorus of We Three Kings. Hi, Toby. Skink of evil, skink of evil, skink of hate. Skink will never find a date. Wow, your stream title was allowed to last all of 30 seconds. It's my turn now. Yes, look at me, I'm the captain now. We are now at 40 subs out of 100 on the sub goal. Oh, 41! We're doing really well, actually. We're on a hot streak here. Blade, thank you for 69 months, Blade. May I take a moment to say, and I mean this with all known enthusiasm, that I know I have. Nice. But thank you for coming to my stream last night. Oh yeah, for sure. Sorry I wasn't talking. I was just like lurking in the background while I was working on stuff. So if you greeted me, I may have missed it, but I was there. I was deep in the focus zone. Now we are at 41% of our sub goal, which is quite good. A funny number. Wow. 69 whole months. Okay, did I get all the notifications? I did, yes. Stumbles and Blade. Beautiful. Okay, so today I wanted to finish this guy, the Spelldrink Skink. I was planning on finishing it off the stream, but I don't know. I was working on it, and I was like, you know what? I could probably do this one on stream, actually. I think I know exactly what I want to do, which is mostly add magical and shiny effects to it. And I feel like adding magical and shiny effects to a painting is like the perfect thing to do on camera. It's like the most satisfying part of the process, aside from the peelies. We don't actually have any peelies for this fella. So, it really doesn't get much better than this, I think. Blade, are you feeling any better? I hope you are. I want to make this little fellow's antenna have like a... I want them to look like ephemeral, like they're made of like, you know, magical spirit goo or whatever. So I need to make his blue stripes that are behind the antenna look even darker so that there's a good amount of contrast. I think that's the only way to do it. Let's see. I did greet you, no worries though. Thank you, Blade. Sorry about that. Katie lurks in other streams, but not mine. Literally one time I lurked in a stream, which was the other day. Dratini, get back here, the Skink is evil! At this point, we're getting remakes and remasters of old sensational games. Yeah, the 20s have really been the years of revisiting old IPs, I suppose. Redeemed add tape to painting so there can be peelies. Honestly, I thought about it, but there's nowhere to add it. It seems to have completely vanished. I did have a sinus infection starting, so I got meds for that. Okay! Well, I mean, mysterious that it even happened in the first place, but glad that it went away. How strange. How peculiar. Okay, I want to make this thing's eyes have a little bit more of that intense red, so that it really stands out against the orange and looks like wet and shiny. I'm so sad there's no more definitely real, not fake Pokemon facts. Don't worry, I'm saving the redeem for a different day. There we go. It is still on the list of possible choice. There are 2 Dratini on screen. Are there? 1... Yeah, there are! Wait, hang on. Why is that second Dratini there? Did I, like, hit the wrong button? That's really funny. Why is this here? Redeemed fake Skink facts. Inside of you there are 2 Dratini on stream. Well, I guess I'll put the little fella right here. There we go, that's better. Why was it up there? Was that there in the stream preview? Hang on a second. I'm gonna go look at the stream preview I posted on social media and see if that was there and I just didn't notice it. No, it wasn't. That's so weird. I must have accidentally dragged it there within the last 5 minutes. There's 3. One is just extremely abstract. I'm back from the ads. Hi, Echo. I got told by a viewer that stream alerts are going away. Really? What do you mean? Add 1 Dratini to the overlay. Okay, you know what? I think 3 is a lucky number, so let's go ahead and make just one more. Just one more for the sake of health and prosperity. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and flip it so that this Dratini is cheering for y'all's messages. There we go. I hope y'all feel supported. Add 2 more Dratini to the overlay. Mine didn't work at all, said Blade. Someone follow, know that you rated me. None of the alerts worked at all. So, like, Twitch is getting rid of that as a feature? Or is it OBS? Or what? Like, explain more. I need more data here. Alright, let's do a little bit more detail on the wand. It has this, like, vine pattern swirling up the side. So I need to do a little bit of outline on the vines themselves. There we go, like so. Yeah, that looks nice. Give everything a little more emphasis, a little more structure. Let's see, Dratini. Mainly Streamlabs. I tested it and nothing worked. Weird. Streamlabs went into administration. What does that mean? I have so many questions. Y'all are giving me more questions than answers. It's a mysterious world, I'll tell ya. I am feeling very productive this week. Yesterday I had like the extremely rare, like perfect work day. I got a lot of work done. I had energy after work to cook a healthy meal. I went on a midday walk and got some vitamin D. I went to bed on time. It was like the kind of day that I feel like I strive for in my life, and I achieve like once per like quarter. And I remember just like getting into bed and being like, why am I not able to do this every day? And I still don't know the answer. I guess you still have to try on the off chance that you will manage to accomplish it. But I was like, dang it, if I could work like this every day, I would be the most prolific artist on earth. I feel like just all the stars kind of came together in some magical arrangement. Or maybe it's because I had 2 coffees instead of 1 yesterday. But sometimes when I have 2 coffees, it just makes me feel evil and like bad. So it's like, I can't just rely on that, you know what I mean? Did you go to the cinema for TIDC? I did not. There are so many movies that I really want to see that I haven't seen yet. Like there's that, the Sheep mystery movie. I don't know if that came out everywhere or inside or outside the US, but there was a really cute looking movie, The Sheep Detective, I think it was called. I really want to see that. I really want to see The Backrooms. Gosh, there's a lot of movies I want to go see. But the problem is I haven't had such a good time at the movie theater lately. There's been a lot of times where I've gone during like busy hours and other people in the theater are just being really annoying. So like I want to go like, you know, at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday or something so that I can avoid people. But I'm always working at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. Hero says they apparently haven't turned a single penny in profit, so they've gone into liquidation. They have a buyer, but it's up in the air at the moment. Wow! Interesting. Thank you for telling me. My Streamlabs works. I got 1 new follower. My notifications work just fine. Oh dang! Use a utility called Streamlabels, and it's part of Streamlabs. This kind of productivity is what all true warriors strive for. That rules, Vap. It's Vappenings, says Poss or Possums. Hi, good to see you, Poss. How are you? Sheep Detective, yeah. It was so good, says Kiwi. Yeah, I heard nothing but good things about it. 1.5 coffees is the sweet spot. Maybe it is. I'm doing one of my last DoorDash runs, so I'm lurking. Oh, that's right, because you don't have to do that anymore, because you got Wolf Job. No, not Wolf Job. No, that's a different thing. You got a job at a place named after a wolf. I want to watch Sheep Detective. I've heard good things. Same Vap, it's so loud. Yeah, people just like talk at full volume in the theater, and it's like, what is happening? Is true cinema etiquette is worsening recently? At least in my area. I live in San Diego, and I've definitely noticed a change in people's behavior at the movies. I guess I could only assume it has to do with post-COVID, like everything else, where people just kind of forgot how to act and didn't have that much practice, and then, I don't know, there's just kind of a worsening social etiquette in general lately. Well, that's very cynical of me. I wouldn't say in all walks of life. I've noticed more people opening doors for each other since COVID, so that's been one, like, improvement in San Diego in etiquette. I love that. But yeah, movie theaters have gotten really stupid. Just really stupid. And you know, I have to admit, part of it is my neuroticism. If I am at home watching a movie, and like someone comes in and is like, oh, what movie are you watching? I will fully like pause the movie and make sure that they are done talking to me before I resume the movie, because I find it deeply distracting. So part of this is fully a me issue. I will acknowledge and own that. I don't want any noise during my movies. I go to the movies sometimes with my friend Julie, and like she is a movie talker, and so if we go to the movies together with no one else, we'll like sit separately. Or if we're there with people, I will sit as far from her as possible. It is just agreed upon between us. About to go brush teeth and go to bed, but I caught the Twitter post. Oh, enjoy your teeth, Breesh, and your sleep. I hear that sometimes. More wolf job, wolf job. I'm driving, you can't say wolf job. What about minor autism? Wait, in relation to what? What do you mean? God, for a second I thought you were talking about a military position, like major autism, minor autism. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, I gotta get a grip. Okay. What do you mean? You said it. I said minor autism? Did I? In relation to what? Did you mishear me, maybe? That can't be what I said. I'm so puzzled right now. Are you the Riddler? Because you're puzzling me. Watching movies at home? Oh, are you suggesting why I am being like that? I get what you're saying. Yeah, possibly. I'm a movie talker, but only about making fun of the movie. Major autism, private browsing, general recklessness. I don't talk at the theater. Honestly, I don't even care if people like whisper at the theater, but people aren't whispering at the theater. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. You said minor autism, where if you're watching movies at home and you pause the movie. I don't think that's what I said, Boulder. I think there's one more syllable in there. Oh, my neuroticism. Yes, neuroticism. Minor autism. My neuroticism. Oh my god, that's so funny. Okay. That's really funny. No, being neurotic is like being fussy and anxious and particular, you know, you're being neurotic. If you always have to do things a particular way. Well, you know what, honestly though, I wonder... It just sounds like you're describing autism in a mean way though, come to think of it. I don't know, maybe the linguistic similarity is meant to be. Because people say neuroticism to be more like intense about it, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. That's hilarious. It's Sylvia. I think you said minor autism. Boulder thinks you're projecting. New stumbles alias unlocked. Those two sound the exact same. Why do they sound so similar? That's so weird. Okay. Anyway, I gotta lock in. Oh, that's so funny. What do you mean new stumbles alias? I don't think Twitch would allow you to set your username to minor autism. You know what? I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, shame to hear that Streamlabs is not doing well. Though, you know, it might actually explain why I have been having so much issues with the alert box. If they don't have the staffing and they're not making enough money to maintain things, that could be the problem. What did you animals do to my streamer friends? The difference is in scale and pervasiveness. I see. Minor autism stumbles. There's a lot of overlap, though. I come back from the kitchen, she's dying laughing. We had a deeply confusing conversation, Blade. I said the phrase, my neuroticism. And Boulder heard it as minor autism, and he kept telling me that that's what I said, and I was like, that's not what I said. I'm being gaslit right now. We both thought we were gaslighting each other. Maybe the real gaslighting was the friends we made along the way. Am I right? Say I'm right. Say I'm the man. What a mess. What a mess. Okay, so this guy has like these sort of wavy, ephemeral antennae. I'm going to surround them with a little bit of like white ink to give them distinctness from their environment. And give them a little bit of like a wobbly edge. I don't want them to be like super clean and straight edged. There we go. It's funny, I do think Californians have a tendency in their accent to run their words together, but I thought it was actually pretty noticeable until I met Texans. Texans barely open their mouths sometimes when they talk, and they just run all the words into one kind of big major syllable. It's very hard to follow sometimes. We visited Clay's grandfather a couple months ago, and I had a hard time telling what that man was saying. I love to listen to it, but I really did not know what was happening a lot of the time. What about spells with moderate and major autism? Ooh, like a spell you could cast? I'm right, I'm the man. You told me to say it. Who said we're friends? Me. By the way, those are not bad things. They are great things. Maybe the gaslighting was a gas leak, just in case people take it wrong. Totally, no, I wasn't taking it in a bad way. I'm pretty sure that's how you get a gas explosion. Speaking of friendship, bird plush. Yes, I need to show you. So, back in December for Christmas, my good friend, Boulder Dash, tried to send me a Ho-Oh plush in my P.O. box. And I think about 4 months ago, one of the Ho-Ohs arrived. But in the meantime, Boulder ordered another one because the first one took 4 months to arrive, and now I'm happy to report that both of them have arrived. And this one is even more emo than the first one. Look at his hair, it's so good. And I kept this guy in the bag because I'm gonna be giving it away to one lucky chat member. Look at his pose too, he's like doing a yoga stretch there. I'm going to be giving this away to one lucky chat member during the, when we hit our sub goal. When we hit the 100 subs goal, I will give away several of these ceramic dratinis, and I will give away this beautiful emo yoga horo. What if Boulder wins the raffle? Can you imagine? Just mail it back to you. Oh man, I wanted to do another Dratini stream, but I actually can't because the white paint has not arrived yet. I did order it. I have a new tube of white paint coming so that we can do all of the necessary details on Dratini's scales. But until it gets here, all of the Dratinis have been shelved. They're all sitting behind me in various states of doneness. The poor things. Oh my god. I think I'll have at least 5 by the time I finish everything, which I'm really happy about. I've always wanted to make little ceramic dudes. And I mean, I guess I have made them before, but they just didn't come out that good. Right now what I'm doing is I'm going in and putting some detail on this guy's little claws and legs with my tiny brush to make sure that his little nails actually stand out from his dark body. By the way, this doesn't like hurt anymore or anything, but you can see the burn that I burned myself with when I was cooking the Dratinis in the oven. Sad. I was just so determined and so focused on what I was doing that I was not thinking about even my bodily health. Just dipping my arm right into the molten oven like it's a mozzarella stick. should do a little bit of darkness in between the fingers too. There would definitely be some shadow there in the little like crevices or creases. Did y'all hear about, speaking of crevices or crevasses, did y'all hear about that that Sherpa who got like abandoned on Mount Everest and then he just like survived up there alone for like 2 days and like somehow crossed a bunch of like huge crevasses and just like came back to town and was like, I lived, bitches. It's crazy. I didn't read the full story, but that was the gist of it at the time. Everyone was like, man, that poor guy probably died. And he was like, nah, I'm fine though. I would live. I'm built different. And climbing Mount Everest is only a challenge for you. Yeah, he got like ditched by his group. Something crazy happened. I'm trying to remember what it was. Let me look this up here so I don't cast aspersions on anyone in case I got it wrong. A Nepali mountaineer who spent 6 days dragging himself off Mount Everest after being abandoned has been moved out of intensive care as he recovers. Let's see. He was 57 years old. It says he disappeared under brutal conditions on the upper slopes of the mountain. Let's see. He says, I didn't eat anything for the first 2 days, then I began chewing ice. He survived on a few chocolates and snacks that he had in his pockets. I'm trying to figure out how this happened and why he got ditched. It looks like there's going to be a whole legal thing about it, so... Mount Everest. I'm glad you liked that, Luke Razor. Flareon, thank you for subscribing for 58 big, beautiful months. Okay, let me catch up on the chat here. Autograph it and send it back to Boulder. Panic at the ho-oh. If you could cast a spell, what spell would you cast? I'd like to cast a spell to make food that's gone bad turn back into fresh food. The classic Germa bit, making little creatures out of clay. If I win it, I'm gonna put it on display, but he won't be in the yoga pose. I did something similar when casting a silver piece. Years ago, some of the silver grains I was melting jumped out of the crucible without thinking. I grabbed them to put them back in. Vaporeons, they only think of swimming. They're fish. They won't be fish. They won't leave me. What is this quote, Flareon? 1,200 degree mistake later, and I've had a figure 8 burned into my fingers for a few months. Oh my gosh. Yoicks! He may still have his little tuft pressed down. Abandoned! Good on that guy, but hot dang. Painful lesson. Very glad I didn't draw my torch. That would have been way worse. Toby says, I know probably the abandoning was like a life or death thing. My first instinct is legally she get to punch each of the other mountaineers one time with no consequences. At least! Moral of the story, always bring snacks. If I was the group who abandoned him, I'd be so scared hearing he survived. Right? Like, sleep with one eye open, you jokers! Your burn make reminds me the other day I was putting something away in my bag, my finger got caught in the zipper, I had to hang nail, I pulled back the nail, the skin got covered with blood, didn't hurt. Imagine the cringing pain you're feeling now thinking about it. I felt that looking at it. Oh, you had like phantom pain? That's so weird. So like it didn't actually hurt, but you were just like, ooh, that should hurt. The brain is so weird. That spell would be so good to cast. What spell would I cast? Minor autism. I'll be doing aspirational produce fresh and ready to go. Something from a character from Amazing Digital Circus. Oh, okay. Since I haven't watched it, I do not have the context. A typical Katie moment. Being context free as usual. So I do want to put scales on this guy. I don't want them to be too detailed though, because I feel like that will draw away from the design. So I'm just gonna do light details. It's crazy that he made it 6 days. That seems like an extraordinary amount of time, because I know in a certain level on Mount Everest, there's not really enough oxygen for you to just, like, thug it out, you know? Like, even if you have food, there's not really enough air for you. So I guess he must have been below that point. Either that or he literally was just, like, built different. That just seems crazy to me. He's just up there eating chocolates, like, huh, wish they hadn't left me up here. What a beast. I hope he tells that story to his grandkids like forever. Anytime they're complaining about anything, he'll be like, "Oh, well, did I tell you about the time that I lived on Mount Everest for 8 days?" And they're like, "Grandpa, yes, oh my god, yes. Every day you've told me this." We know. It's a truly irrefutable claim to fame, too. They can't even really complain. Oh, Ristank is raiding with a party of K. Either that or it's Reese Dan K. I'm not sure why I read it as Dank. Welcome, party of 9. Join us, join us. I'm working on this watercolor painting of a skink that is attracted to magic and likes to suck magic out of things like a little vampire. How are you guys doing today? Yizzard? What is Yizzard? Like Wizard Gizzard and the Lizard Fizzard? You have 9,000 raiders? No, party of 9. Not 9,000, just 9. 9,000 would be the scariest thing that ever happened to me on stream. Oh, you were playing Peak? I said K. Did I say 9K? I don't even know what to believe anymore. Raiding with a party of K. That guy's gonna get a statue, or at least a plaque. We are under 9,000. Thank goodness, Zequel. Hello, Duck Smacker. See, I've heard Peak is a really fun game. That's like the multiplayer climbing game, right? I think Aspergence is a form of minor autism. I just thought of a cool new fantasy creature, the Spelling Bee, a normal bumblebee that casts random spells. That's cute. Duck Smacker is such a username. Congrats, Pappy, you can count beyond me. I can only count to G. It is, and we failed 3 times. What happens when you fail in that game? Do you just, like, fall off the mountain? I've had a couple people ask for me to play it with them, but I just haven't had the chance to do it. I've been sort of occupied. I'm very curious about it, though. Is it like, oh my gosh, what's that game called? Bennett Foddy's, Bad Time. God, that's not what it's called. Giving Up with Bennett Foddy? Is that it? Am I saying it right? Getting Over It? Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy? I think I got there. I really just thought I could feel that one out. Is it like that, or is it more reasonable in the controls? Because I think if I had to play Getting Over It, I would probably cry on camera. I think that would be very bad for me. I don't like feeling inadequate at things. I have a funny feeling it would make me feel a little inadequate. There we go, putting scales on this guy makes him feel better. Ristank said, Restan K said you turn into a skeleton, then everyone dies and you go to the lobby. Wow, just like real life. Delta says, I've heard it's really good. You could even say it's Peak. Baby steps, just like in real life. Wow, same joke, Toby. Having a bad time is an accurate name. It isn't like Getting Over it. It's a walking game of climbing. Would you cry, Katie? I think you'd eventually get over it. I probably would. I would be just like that climber we were just reading about on Mount Everest. It would take me 9 days to get down, but I'd get down. That's fine. It's no problem. Well, thank you so much for the raid. I usually am here either streaming Watercolor or I do a Pokemon comic series called VAP Comics on Wednesdays and Friday evenings. Lately I've actually been streaming on Sunday nights as well. And that's pretty much my whole jam. It's all traditional art here, all the time. Every once in a while we'll play a game, but I haven't been doing a lot of games lately. I'll have to send a raid back your way sometime, though. I've been looking for new people to raid. Okay, I'm definitely gonna do some dark scales on his little tum-tum. I genuinely think if 9,000 people raided this stream, I would probably, like... I think I would have to turn it off. I think I would straight up have to be like, that's really nice, thank you for your support, but I can't actually stand up to this pressure. I'm scared. 9,000 people is too many people to suddenly have in your room. Ooh, I like how these like dark scales are looking on his tummy, because you can like barely see them, but they give him a little more like depth. This is cool, I like it. I don't know if they're showing up on camera. Let me take a look and see. Yeah, they're showing up a little bit. I wouldn't advise playing Peak, though. Once you're done, it's all downhill from there. Boo! If you're gonna be casting really stupid spells, I cast Googly Eyes on Vab's DMs, or I will. Same joke, same joke. Why are we casting it on the people running our D&D games? Little Tum-Tum! You never know what or who needs more Googly Eyes. True. Lately, meaning last Sunday. And this Sunday. I feel that's displayed. That's a lot of people, says Equal. We need for like 10 seconds, and the panic would set in. Yeah, I feel like I would like fully reset to factory settings. I feel like Vaporoni. Even people like Shy Lily only get like 5,000 at most. Yeah, and that's a lot of people. I finally arrived. Hi, Game Pro. Oh, and Riley too. Welcome back from your good walk. I'm doing swell. How are you? Oh, Vap, you know of Andy from Oregon Trail? I don't think so. I wonder what the highest anyone has ever had in one stream session. Okay, let me look this up. Twitch, most viewers at once. It says, Spanish streamer Ibai Llanos holds the current record for the most concurrent viewers on a single Twitch stream, peaking at, well, this can't be right, 3,800,000? Are you sure? I don't think that's correct. I don't think that's correct. I think that is AI getting it wrong. Okay, I'm seeing some more solid results here. They say Ninja had 616,000 at one point. That I would believe. That's 3 million is nonsense. 600,000 could be real. R.I.P. Andy. Oh, dysentery. I've seen streams with over 12k viewers. Thank you, I'm doing good. Good. Katie, let's get the Vapple Crashers group back together to play Peak. We must get Bing Bong to the top. Hot damn. I was reminded of this meme from me calling you Vaporoni. If he had rated you after that 3.8 million stream, would you deactivate your account? Probably, yeah. I can't show links, right? Yes. No links, just skinks. It's true. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple scales back here on his tail. I've had this like vision lately for 2 different paintings that I want to do. My goal is to get these done like before TwitchCon. I would love to get them done before AWOO, but AWOO is in like 7 weeks, so there's no way. But before TwitchCon in November, I think I can. I want to revisit, I want to like remake a painting that I made like more than 10 years ago. It's that painting I did of Ho-Oh in front of the burned tower, and then the 3 legendary beasts are like running out of the tower. I really want to redo that one, like, big. I want to do it on a really big watercolor paper with, like, super lush details. So I want to do that, and I want to do Red Gyarados at the Lake of Rage. I feel like that would look so sick in watercolor. I've been, like, slowly collecting references and stuff to do these things. And I just think they would look gorgeous as prints, too. And honestly, like, a lot of my average customers at conventions are people who are in, like, the 30 to 40 age range. Sometimes young people will come up. It's not unheard of, but I think it's people who are kind of into the era of Pokemon that I played when I was a kid, so they're about my age. It kind of stands to reason. So it'd be cool to do some stuff from Gold, Silver, Crystal era. And I just love the legendary beasts. I think they're some of the coolest legendaries ever. Anyway, it's a groove that says, here lies Andy, pepperoni and cheese, C-H-E-A-S-E. In a stream today, Boulder said he was gonna kill me. Oh, you don't have to believe that. He's too small. Maybe. Most of the large streams come from people like Kai Senat or something. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Is it Kai Senat or Senat? I feel like Twitch Plays Pokemon probably got really high at its peak, but even that was more of an overtime total viewership. Yeah, that's true. That's true. My friend Jerry, he started streaming recently. The guy has over 100 viewers active at a time when he streams. To say I'm envious or jealous is an understatement. That's amazing, actually. I don't blame you for feeling envy. Having over 100 concurrent viewers, I think that's more than being in the top 1% of Twitch streamers, though. That's like a very, very small amount of streamers actually are able to do that. It's very, very rare. Because I want to say having more than 8 already puts you very high, so I think it's easy. My point is, it's easy to sort of get a warped view about how common it is to have a lot of viewers. It's actually really uncommon. So you gotta celebrate kind of every little win when you get it. Personally, I'm very glad to have my stream at the numbers it's at, because it means I can actually talk with you guys in the chat. It would be cool if it got bigger in the sense that, like, I guess I would feel good for making a good stream and, you know, I don't know, growing it or something, but I would genuinely be disappointed if I had to talk to the chat less and just, like, paint while watching a chat window whiz by. There's something a little depressing about that, so. Oh, it was coming up fast. We'd love to see you again. I can't wait. I'm so freaking excited. We've got 2 booths in the dealer's den this year, and we've got more. I think it's gonna be my biggest display that I've ever done, possibly. I maybe I'm a little crazy saying that. We'll see how it actually comes together, but I think I'm gonna have the most prints I've ever had by a lot. I've been working on the sort of layout and the grid and everything. I'm really excited. It was like one of my favorite conventions. No links, just right. Outback Skink House. Oh, that would be a good stream title too. That makes sense. I want to go to a woo. I'm so mad I had to stop my plans. Well, we'll be there again next year, so don't worry. I don't know, says Riley. I have to see the Swample and the Vapple. I have to, or I'll explode. Regiace, Kyurem, and Glastrier are some of the coolest legendaries. Also very sick. I would love to do Reshiram and Zekrom and Kyurem prints someday. I love that trio. Fact about the Andy Gravestone thing, it's a joke from an advertisement for Tombstone Pizza. What do you want on your tombstone? Pepperoni and cheese. That's cute. Oh shit, for real, that's actually neat. Do you guys, do you like pepperoni when it's like, I think it's called cup pepperoni? Or do you like it when it's flat? I've heard people argue for both. Let's see, why does Fap hate links so much? I don't hate them, honestly. There were too many at a certain point, and I couldn't keep up with the chat, and I couldn't get my work done very efficiently. So I would end the streams just feeling, like, kind of tired and crummy. Of just like, oh, I didn't really, like, do my best, I didn't keep up with everyone, I wish I could have, like, done better, you know? And then sometimes I straight up, you remember this, I'm sure, I would just open links and then just be on a website for, like, 20 minutes. Being like, oh, I gotta learn more about this brand of ice cream or whatever. So, as fun as that is, deeply bad for productivity. Yeah, and Clay and I are pretty much working on Rain's Forest. Is like, we've got this checklist on the wall, and we don't do anything that's not on the checklist. We are like really grinding it out right now. But we've been having some really good conversations with our layout designer about how the combat layouts are being organized, which is very exciting. And what else? Talking some with our dice manufacturers. We're getting some samples in soon to make sure that the dice look the way that we want them to, and that they have like a good weight and lettering and quality and that kind of thing. I'm really stoked about the dice. Yeah, things are moving along at a fast pace. I'm really stoked about it. So you never forget the time when Katie was playing a really stupid horse game and got the biggest rage she ever had. I love frozen pizza. I'd honestly rather have a frozen pizza more often than a fresh made. There is something actually really good about frozen pizza. It's like, it's a different product than normal pizza, but when you want a frozen pizza, like, that's what you want, you know? There's a tumble push from the original Andy about it. Here we have another one of Stumble's awful food takes in the wild. No! Vap, did you completely miss the joke I made? Think about what those 3 mons have in common. Okay. Oh, is it because they're all ice types? Wow, I was just here supporting your interest, being like, yeah, those are cool. Cup pep for the crispy curled edges. Oh, the crispies are actually really good. I'm a fan of both, says Toby. I hate links. Grrr, I loathe them, says Sylveon. When I get my hands on links. I never noticed the difference in the pep types. I remember. Katie, Boulder wants to kill me. The only Andy I know is, hey Andy, sweetie. I love that meme. Like horsestatues.com. Exactly. Quiet. That was great. Make sure to throw your dice in salt water. I have no idea what to do to actually check to see if it's balanced. Are the dice to die for? Tomatoed. I've been trying to give one of my patients some help with ADHD, not my specialty. One thing she's got the most use out of so far is me saying, okay, so if you have stuff to do, don't ever sit down, because she's like, if I sit down at 10 a.m., I'll check 1 or 2 YouTube shorts and suddenly it's 2 a.m. Oof. Yeah, I get that with lying down. I really mess myself up lying down sometimes, especially if it's like my bed. If I lie down on the couch, I might still recover, but if I lie down in my bed, I've got everything in there so perfectly sculpted to cradle my body. It's like, it's so over. It's so over. I just can't let myself do it. If I leave the office and I'm like, I'm gonna lie down for 10 minutes, and Clay's not gonna see me again until like 6 p.m. And I'm not gonna be happy at 6 p.m. either. Tom a Toad. There's Motor City Pizza, which is Detroit style, and it's pretty good for frozen. What does it mean to be Detroit style? For pizza, I mean. I guess for humans, too. Switch to a straw bed to maximize productivity. That probably would work. I've talked about this on stream before. It's a little, well, embarrassing isn't the right word, but it's a little funny to think back on now. I, years ago, had this idea that having a Japanese futon instead of a bed was like a really good idea. You could probably guess via context that it was not a very good idea, and I didn't sleep well. But yeah, I just slept on a Japanese futon on the floor, which is just a very firm, thin mattress, and, you know, in the sense, if the goal was don't spend too much time in bed, then I would say it's the perfect product. If you're trying to be the opposite of someone who enjoys being in bed, this is what you want. Great product. If you want to have a good bed experience, not good, not good. I imagine if you grow up with it, it's quite comfortable for like your spine shape and hips and stuff, but I did not grow up with it. And I've got a generous caboose. And let me tell you, it was not being supported. My caboose was falling off the train tracks, and it hurt. I still have it, not my caboose, but the futon. I still have it in the closet in case I have a guest and the couch is full. But like, I mean, honestly, I don't even know if it's worth hanging on to. And I have several couches. I mean, they're not all mine, but like in this house we have several couches, I should say. Some of them do belong to Whimsicott, but he lets us use them. So I don't think there would be a situation where there's just no couches at all for the guests to use, and they have to sleep on my crummy floor mattress, so... I think I could probably get rid of that thing. It's Jover for me, says Blade. Sorry, my computer just crashed. It's restarting. 1 moment. Sounds good. Do you prefer cooked or uncooked pepperoni? I'm sure you can guess which I like more. I like it cooked. Switch. I already read that. I'm out of jokes. Remembering the layout of Katie's room for my air vent. I know Katie can sleep well. Of the buff furry cardboard cutout with a milk shirt watching over her. I do actually have that. That sounds like a total non sequitur, but Stumbles is not wrong. He's right. I actually do have a cutout of a large furry tiger man that watches over me while I sleep. It does help me sleep better, and my cat loves to rub her face on the corner of it, so everyone is happy with it, really. Frozen pizzas that claim to be wood-fired are a scam unless you reheat them in a wood-fired oven. Shush, guys, I have a feeling someone pranked Vap. I'm gonna seek them out. I'm back! Hi, Riley. Katie doesn't have her butt anymore, sad. Yeah, I lost it in the incident. This just in. Does Katie gross more couch than car? Detroit is cooked in a square pan and has cooked cheesy edges for the crust. Yo! Wait, how do I get this here? I want this. How do I get this? Why don't I have this? Plus, if you really need more couches, you could just use the backseat of some of your cars. Who? Who's right, Katie? I don't know. Did I read the wrong thing? I thought a futon was a kind of ottoman because you put your foot on them. So in the US, a futon refers to a firm sofa, but in Japan, it refers to just like straight up a bed. I didn't say that. I could have, but I didn't. Wait, was I reading the wrong thing? I might have. That was a good joke. I found the pranker. It was a good pun. It was me, says Blade. What? I can't believe this. I can't believe this is what's happening. I do like the googly eye, bird that you sent me. That is very good. Blade sent me an image of a falcon wearing a falcon hood, but it's got googly eyes on the falcon hood, which is really cute. Oh, I read your message. I called you Stumbles. Sorry, I'm trying to read too many things at once. Joke I forgot to make earlier during the mishearing minor autism incident. Major autism is how they're rebranding Buzzy after he got stolen from Disney World. Wow, Toby, that's some real inside baseball shit, even from you. Like, I know what you're talking about, but, I guess that's because I'm really inside the baseball. So for anyone who doesn't know, which is everyone, there was a animatronic in Walt Disney World in Orlando. His name was Buzzy, and he was the host for a sort of an unpopular ride, an edutainment ride, where you go through the inside of the human body, I think. And he was this little boy, but he was like, you know, a full animatronic, so a big expensive boy, really. I shouldn't just call him a little boy. But anyway, he was stolen after the ride shut down, and I believe if accounts are to be believed, he has not been recovered. People have been questioned, and I think someone was even arrested briefly, but Buzzy is gone. Buzzy is vanished into the abyss. He's probably in some rich person's home. Okay, there's the staff. I've given it its little glowy bits. Jenny Nicholson did a great video about it if you wanna read it. The best sleep of my life was in a car. I'd rather sleep in a car than my own bed sometimes. There is something nice about it. Actually, it wasn't the prank, like, actually. Too many messages. How very unproductive. You should ban messages so you can work more. Honestly, not a bad idea. I know of this. This guy. It was called Wonder of Life. He wasn't too bad. The entire facility was called Wonders of Life. Yes, that's right. Sometimes you got a baseball inside. Who doesn't know of Buzzy? They still haven't found it. Buzzy will return when we need him most. Boulder, tell Katie why you want to kill me. We all saw the Jenny Nicholson video. I wonder what they'll replace or reimagine that old facility for in Epcot. Buzzy's in Katie's room next to the cardboard furry cutout. Do I tell her? Boilder! Boulder, no! I like Boilder. That's good. It's like we're making him into soup. Boilder, I hardly know her. Oh my god. Boilder Deutsch. I didn't mean Buzzy. You know, I was just gonna wait for you to explain what you meant by that, to be honest, so why don't you share with the class what you were trying to say there? Buzzy, maybe? You did say Buzzy, so I had to read it, you know? Artistic integrity and all that. I'm not gonna misrepresent what you said, but... Okay, I'm gonna put a little wood grain on the staff here. I think that will make it look cool. Put some little, like, swirls and whirls on here. This will stand in nice contrast to the Skink scales so that there's kind of multiple sources of texture in this image. It's not just smooth and scaly. I should be hearing back from BLFC soon, which is biggest little fur con in Vegas. I really hope I got into that one. That would be such a good con to go to. Fingers crossed. I think I have 3 cons I'm waiting to hear back from at the moment, so I should be getting news hopefully later this month. Adding these little wood grain patterns also just helps distinguish what is lizard versus what is wood. It just provides some like visual data for your brain when you're skimming this image. Because it's going to be printed a lot smaller than this. This is like, you know, the biggest it will ever be visualized, because it's going to be printed in a book, which measures normal book size. Well, I mean D&D normal book size, which is about 8.5 by 11, so... I was trying to say Buzzy, apocalyptic tear typo. Check your email, says Blade. Oh god. Nevertheless, Disney park history is pretty cool. It is. Buzzy will return in Avengers Doomsday. I'm finally starting to watch that new Jenny Nicholson video after not being in the mood for YouTubes for like a month, and it rules. The one about the incubus or succubus thing. Swirls and whirls and squirrels. The Arena for Con. Neat. Yes, beans crossed that maybe you can make it to MFF. If I get in. There are many cons I want to go to, but I don't have the time or funds to go. Oh, I'm into that. That's why I pretty much can only go to the ones that I get a table at. It's so that I can financially offset it. Banned Boulder from saying okay again today. Again! Blade, what is this email? Peter, what is this? I I need to take away your email privileges. The what? Blade, what is this? Oh, I see. The Incubus Paranormal Romance one. Yes, that's right. What is it called? It's like a Twilight sort of knockoff type film. I can't remember what it's called, though. What is it called? Also, I feel like I need to give this wood a little bit more shading, actually. I think I got scared, but I need to be brave. Yeah, that looks cooler. Sometimes I'm just scared to do too much contrast in my paintings. Because once it's on there, pardon me, once it's on there I can't undo it, so that's unfortunate. My lungs! It rules. I love a Jenny Nicholson deep dive into a movie no one else on Earth has seen, not even the cast. Oh man. She has a video she's been working on for ages that she hasn't given like any peeps on what it is, except she says it is a furry adjacent video. And I know she went to a fur-con last year. She actually got bed bugs at a fur-con. Well, it wasn't the furry's fault, it was from the hotel, but she had a very bad bed bug experience at a fur-con. But she's working on something to do furry adjacent. I can't imagine what it could be. My only guess is that maybe it's about those movies, what are they called? Alpha and Omega, maybe? Those, like, animated wolf movies? Is that what it was called? Yeah, maybe. You have no idea how much I needed that after today's work day. Oh, I'm glad I could help. Literally just called Incubus. I got the worst Karen I've ever had to deal with in my life. Your reaction made it all better. Oh no. What did the Karen do, dare I ask? BLFC and LVFC are in Nevada, right? How do they even survive in fursuits? Well, I mean, if you live in a hot place like that, then everywhere inside is air conditioned. Because you're in Florida, right? I think it's just like that. So curious about what that video is. There's a line in the movie where the guy says, I'm 50 shades of fucked up. That's really funny. Oh, you just know that it's like one of those lines that like, it sounds really cool when you write it. You're like, yeah, that sounds really like, he's really bearing his soul about his like mental struggles. But then when you have to have like a dude in a movie, like an actor say it, it's like, oh no, it kind of sounds a little lame. Oh no. 50 Shades of fucked up. Does he... Wait, okay, I haven't watched these movies or read these books, so, you know, bear with me on this, but... Do they know, like, is 50 Shades of Grey a term that the couple uses? Or why would he bring up like a title drop in that way? That's what I'm trying to understand here. It just seems sort of strange to just bring up the title of the film. God, it would be funny if those films were just called 50 Shades of Fucked Up. That would be very, very honest. Alpha and Omega is a solid guess. Like it could be, right? Alpha and Omega, I remember seeing those funny review videos and memes by Dumbsville. She called me a liar for telling her meds had been called out. She tried to berate me with every swear word under the sun. Whoa, I disengaged. She followed me until I went into the vaccine room to hide and cool off. Oh my goodness. I remember Alpha and Omega. I watched it when I was once really sick a long time ago. I was so drugged out when I saw it. It was okay. The rest of the movies are trash. Go figure, made by a studio who made a lot of Bible flicks, I believe. Is it by the Finding Jesus crew? Go figure. If it's Jenny Nicholson for adjacent, it's going to be a 10-hour video on Cats the Musical. I don't know, Katie. Maybe you should do a 50 Shades of Grey reading here on the stream. Yeah, just immediately get banned. I don't know anyone who unironically loves those films. The original 50 Shades was a Twilight fanfic titled 50 Shades of Fucked Up. No! What? No! Was it? Wasn't it called, like, Master of the Universe or something? I went to go talk to my manager on duty. She saw me approach me, slapped me, then told me I'm gonna pray for you. I didn't say anything out of line, but I did raise my voice. The lady slapped you? Or your manager slapped you? Either way. That's actually insane. Yeah, she should be banned now. She should have been escorted out of the building. You can't touch employees. In an alternate universe where they kept that title, it's possible. No, not them. I tried to stammer out, go away and leave me alone. I need to pray for yourself, but I couldn't manage it. The guy's name is Gray. Not made by the Finding Jesus crew. Alpha and Omega are cinematic masterpieces in comparison. I'm getting, like, whiplash between this terrible story about someone slapping you for no reason and then discussing the film Alpha and Omega. Emotionally, I don't know which way to turn. I'm totally lost. I'm adrift in the sea. Oh my goodness. The guy's name is Gray and he's 50 Shades of fucked up. Stop. It's so funny. Slapped you then prayed for you. Let me check. Yeah, I want to say the original fic was called Master of the Universe. I don't know why I know that. Probably from the Jenny Nicholson video, but... Oh, didn't Dan Olsen from Folding Ideas also do a video on it? Maybe I know it from that. I watch a lot of Dan Olsen. I like to get a lot of depressing realism from Canadians now and again. Keeps me from sinking too far into my American delusions, you know? I think it's healthy for us. Americans, I mean. You occasionally need a good dose of curmudgeonly honesty from across the border. Okay, just doing a little bit of detail on his face. Give him a couple scales that can be seen. Yeah, that looks good. Let's see. Gonna be real. I'm gonna put it out of my mind. If I don't, she wins in the end. Yeah, no, you can't let it stick with you. I want to share something about Alpha and Omega. It has to do with the outdated theory. She returns. I'll call the police. Yeah, you should. The duality of Vapchat, Alpha and Omega, and slapping. Sorry to make light blade. Twitch is gaslighting me right now. It's saying my message wasn't sent, but it was. It was by Snow Queen's Ice Dragon. Yes, that's right. Her username was Snow Queen Ice Dragon. Oh, the thing about wolf packs and how that one guy was like, yeah, there's totally alphas and omegas, and then there weren't, and that was wrong. I do want to say, to his credit, I believe he spent a lot of his life trying to spread correct information about wolfpack hierarchies now. He like fully realized he had goofed that one up really bad, and he feels bad about it. It's a shame he did it in the first place, but I mean, I don't think it was malicious. He just straight up gathered the incorrect data. But it's like that saying where like a lie can get halfway around the world while the truth is still putting its boots on. Very, very true. Oh, hello! Drum Ultima rating with a party of 38. Long time no see. How are you, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Welcome, everybody. I'm working on this watercolor right now of a monster for my Dungeons & Dragons game, Rain's Forest Odyssey. This is the Spelldrink Skink. It is a little malicious magical skink that is attracted to sources of magic, and it sucks all the magic out of them like it's blood, and it's a vampire. And I'm often working on watercolors here on Wednesdays and Fridays, and sometimes Sundays. Were you working on music today? Tell me what you were doing. Gosh, it's been forever and ever. Let's see. I think I was wrong on that title. Thank God, says Toby. Hi, I am raiding you. That's a really good raid message. That's true. Hello, raiders. He did. It was actually because the Alpha and Omega are the mother and father of everyone else. Yeah, that makes sense. There are not alphas in Wolfpass except for you, Vap. You'll be our alpha in the 8-hour Wolf RP. Thank you, I will. I'm an exception. Drum says, I know, I saw you were streaming, and I was like, OMG, Vap, it's been so long. It has. Have you been on a break from streaming, or are we just streaming at like totally different hours? Because I feel like I haven't seen you online very much. Then again, I haven't really been like monitoring my Twitch feed, but it's just good to see you. I'm stoked. I would imagine the pack is basically family. If we're to go off that means the protagonist having kids means, okay, I'm gonna say it, Sweet Home Alabama. Oh no! Oh, you're playing Pokopia! Coming to your Vaporeon coded stream seemed like a good follow-up. I wish I was actually working on Pokemon tonight so that it would be like totally thematically appropriate. But you can't win them all, I guess. Do you like Pokopia? My bestie has been playing a lot of it, and they really like it. I don't have a Switch 2, so I haven't picked it up yet, but I will eventually. And yes, I caught your drift, Riley. I'm smelling what you're stepping in. Alright, let's do the little scales on their toesy woesies. That's the term that herpetologists use. Wait, is herpetology? I think, never mind, I think that's just for snakes. I don't know what it's called if you're a lizard enthusiast. I do think herpetology is just snakes. There we go. Each little toe gets its detail. Let's catch up here. Katie streams on Sunday one time, and then she's like, sometimes on Sundays. I mean, am I wrong? It's strange that Alpha and Omega are usually seen as being the same level. One of them has to be more powerful, right? For a while I wasn't streaming as much, really only 1 week at the same time, but I'm streaming more this summer. Awesome! Well, good to see you. If you don't, that's okay. Hello, Travoto. So far I'm enjoying it a lot. It's super cute and chill. I've heard it really sucks you in. Oh, thanks for following, Yo, that's toxic. Sorry, I just saw your follow. Speaking of Pokopia, Poplio! Yeah, I saw they're adding like a whole like underwater level to it. Is that right? Oh man, I feel like by the time I actually get a Switch 2 and sit down to play it, it's gonna have like so much good DLC. There is some benefits to not playing games immediately, and that is one of them. I'll make this guy more shiny. Not to put pressure on you, Katie, but you ought to buy your Switch 2 soon. Prices are going up in September. September is actually what you said. All herpetology is all reptiles. All reptiles. You're wrong. Herpetology studies herpes. How about herpederpetology? Wow, Katie, first you got it wrong. Not really. Then you mocked the entire reptile study by saying enthusiasts instead of researchers. Honestly, I actually wasn't sure which one it was. So more ignorance than maliciousness. Going back to Wolfpack, still the trailer, the animation I sent, right? Which one? Guess that means you gotta get a Switch 2 sometime. Honestly, I just can't afford it right now. It's on my like to-do list, but yeah, everything's just kind of going into Rainforest. It's like there's so many things I want to do for the game that I find it like hard to justify like personal purchases, because I'm like, oh, but that money I could spend it on the game instead. It's just so easy to think of stuff that I want to put in the game. So yeah, once the game is shipped, I'm hoping I'll be able to maybe get a Switch 2, and I need to replace some of my older clothing, just kind of like general stuff like that. But it's like kind of motivational for me, of like, okay, I can do that once I get the book shipped. It's like giving yourself chocolate chips after you do chores or whatever. Putting some little shines on his scales to show where the light is hitting. There we go. These scales are very smooth and shiny. I'm gonna make his teeth a little bit more noticeable as he's chomping down. Nice. Let's see. The Great Wolf Lodge mascot one. No, I didn't watch that. I totally meant to, but I forgot. If you can't afford it now, you won't be able to afford it later. Not that I'm saying you should buy one. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, fair point, but also that doesn't, like, mean that I can afford one now, you know? It's kind of the same either way. I pulled an immersive Art Mega Altaria card in TCG Pocket. It has a really lovely watercolor theme to it. I think I know the one you're talking about. There's some beautiful art in TCG Pocket. The other thing is, like, I'm pretty fine with my current Switch. I've been pretty happy with it. Like, most of the games I want to play are on my normal Switch, so I don't feel discontent. So you can see now that what I'm doing is I'm using the white ink pen to make the antenna a lot more like glowy and wispy by just putting a million billion dots around them. There we go. The other thing I can do, honestly, is like, if I wait long enough, I can buy a used Switch 2. These systems, you can usually get pretty decent ones used later on, if you just kind of wait long enough. Does that look good? It could look gooder. I'm gonna make the wispiness more pronounced. I don't feel like I quite did what I wanted here. Just gonna really lay it on thick. When I ordered the white paint for finishing the Dratini ceramics, I also ordered more of these white ink pens, because boy do I go through them. I had a very satisfying moment the other day. You ever finish a tube of chapstick? Like just fully finish it without losing it or throwing it out or whatever? I had one of those where my mom gifted me this golden ink... Wait, this isn't it, that's white. My mom gifted me this golden ink pen many years ago, I think in like a stocking stuffer or something. And I've been using it to sign my paintings before I ship them off to customers. And I finally used up the whole thing. You can see the tube of the ink is totally empty. It's like, it won't work anymore. So that, for me, was even better than finishing a tube of chapstick. I felt so environmentally conscious. I used the whole thing. Not a bit went to waste. Especially with art supplies, that feels really good, because so often it's like, if you make a bad picture with art supplies, you're like, oh, I wasted the supplies, even though, like, that's not really true. And, like, that's a very reductive way of thinking about it. That's still what the brain wants to do, right? So... yeah, this is nice. I like his little fuzzy horn things. This looks cute. Okay, let me catch up here. I was gonna say that's fair, yeah. I think if we can't dive and surf IRL just yet, we can at least do so as Ditto. You're the man, Catherine. Thank you. Oh, alright, says Riley. By the way, I've started to figure out metals a little bit, Katie. Enough for paintings I'm doing anyways. Ooh, that's really good. Because remember you were asking me about silver a couple weeks ago, right? You could watch it soon if you want. Take your time. Yeah, I do need to watch that. I'm very curious about it. I just totally forgot. I think wolves are neat. You can always ping me, too. If there's something you're putting in one of the channels in the Discord. I usually just look at, like, the main channel, and I don't check the other ones very often. So if there's something you put in it that I need to see, feel free to ping me. That increases the chance that I will actually notice there's something there for me to look at. Katie, if you don't get a Switch 2, how will you ever do thumb wrestling? To be fair, on my end, I do want to do water and beach things with you, even with Pocopia factored out. I love water and beach things. Wolves are like proto-dogs, remarkable for that reason alone. My Switch can't connect to my home internet anymore for some reason. Oh, that's weird. Being real with myself, I think foxes are better. Finishing a chapstick is so satisfying. That rules! You should check out the artwork of Dratini hugging Sylvian right above the Wolfpack trailer, because it is very cute. Ooh, I can't use a full tube of chapstick. A few bites in and I'm full. Ew, Boulder! Yes, I was. That sounds good. Currently doing some earrings and stuff in it. Me too. That's why you're a sog dog. Oh, I do have something interesting to tell y'all about. I totally forgot to bring this up until now. I can't give too much detail about it lest I dox myself, but I actually have some part-time work right now. A friend of mine opened a shop that sells things you can eat and drink. How's that for vague? And so I'm kind of helping out. I'm not doing a lot of hours, but I'm kind of helping out and providing coverage. So that's really fun, and it won't interfere with the stream hours at all because they close before my streams start, so that's great. But I brought that up because I had to take the California Food Handlers license certification course, which is just very funny. It's, it's just this course teaching you about how to not, poison your customers with rotten meat or whatever. But it's extremely funny because the course itself is super it's trying to be entertaining, and it is entertaining, but not for the reasons that they hope. You know what I mean? So it's just this super upbeat millennial guy being so now in this chapter we're gonna talk about personal hygiene. That's right, we're going there. Come on, let's dive right in. Just doing the most arm gestures any human being has ever done with their arms ever. And so the whole course was a little bit just yeah, I know, first in, first out, check the dates on things, wash your hands for more than 10 seconds, just really basic stuff. And then I got to the certification test, which is the state's test, I believe. and the test was like, what percentage of sodium chloride sanitizer needs to be mixed with water dosage in a bucket if you want to sanitize this brand of silverware? It's just like, oh my god, I don't know. Thankfully, I did pass the test. I got like a 90-something%, so I did miss a few questions. But that's because the course did not prepare me for them, because the course was like, pests in the workplace, that's no good. What should you do if you see a rat? That's right, tell your manager. Yeah, dude. I know, if I see a rat, I should tell someone. Thank you. At least I didn't have to pay for the course. My friend paid for the course, so that is really nice. Oh man, I just love HR and training videos. It really was like that Krusty Krab training video episode, I should say, not video. Let's see. The one I'm currently doing is some earrings and stuff in it. Oh, sick. Me too. That's why you're a sog dog. Chapstick. Cool. You got a job at a paint shop? No. Food and drink, not to paint. How neat. Dive right into the deep fryer. Got it. What does the narrator's voice sound like? I can imagine like the one from Driving Course. Why am I so warm? Did the course include anything about using water gun to put out grease fires? Training videos that try to be cool are so much. He kept saying, I think part of it was the editor's fault, because the guy, he didn't do a bad job, he was just like overdoing it a little bit, but the editor kept reusing clips like in multiple locations that was like the same joke without any new delivery. So the whole thing, not even joke, but the same like bit, I guess you could call it. So the whole thing about like, yeah, we're gonna talk about personal hygiene, the phrase, that's right, we're going there, they used it multiple times in like different readings, and I was like, guys, you can't just keep using that clip. You need a new bit. Oh, it was so good. It reminded me of oh my gosh, what was that video called? There was an old, somewhat like famous on YouTube video of a guy doing an ad for like gamer gear, and a lot of people did like react type content to it because the guy was just being really cheesy. And I'm sure that was just like the directions he was given. Like, I'm sure he was just a random actor and they were like, yeah, pretend like you're a gamer and you want this, you know, special gamer goo or whatever. Do you know what I'm talking about? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? If you see a rat, keep it secret. Snitches get stitches. Does that mean you can make real aphid jerky now? God, I wish. I remember watching McDonald's training videos from 20 years ago. Some of it was animated like a 13-year-old trying to make Pokemon animation in Adobe Flash, and they really liked to say vinegar. Well, who doesn't like to say vinegar? Repeating clips. That's right, we're going there. Maybe I should visit and pop in whenever I have plenty of time and money when you least expect it. Go out and ask if I'm going to sightsee, and then try to find you at your part-time job with no hints. Well, Southern California does have more eating establishments than most places in the world, so you do really have your work cut out for you, I'll say that. We love our restaurants here. I'm gonna make that a little darker. Okay, let's do some final work here on the staff. This is coming close to being done. I'm feeling pretty good with my progress. Do you guys feel like it is like visually clear that he is like sucking the blue out of the staff? I know it's sort of an abstract concept, but like I want it to show that he's like kind of drinking up the blue, and that's why his tail is like turning blue. And like the text will explain this, so even if it doesn't show in the image, I'm hoping that it'll become clear, but I don't know if it's quite there yet. My chances are great then. Do not underestimate the time warping power of the crazy bus. What a scary notion. Cannot believe that the new chapter of Deltarune is coming out so soon. It's actually crazy. Like, I saw the night before the Direct that people, that the Nintendo of America account on Twitter had posted, like, don't forget the direct is at such and such time tomorrow. And don't forget is like a, you know, a Deltarune lyric slash phrase. So people, I saw these people replying in the comments being like, Deltarune tomorrow. And I genuinely thought to myself, I remember thinking like, oh, that's so sad, they're coping. We're not going to get Deltarune news for like another year. Like, that's kind of pathetic that they think this is a hint, you know? Like, they're like that conspiracy theory guy with his board. With all the red. The guy from Always Sunny, what's his name? I can't remember that actor. And then, sure enough, it was actually Deltarune tomorrow. That just, you know, I'm Boo Boo the Fool. I didn't believe in the power of Toby Fox, and that's my bad. I just need to eat crow on this one. Can't believe I get to play the new chapter that soon. And it's Japanese for some reason. Very excited about that. I don't want to overdo his scales, but I do feel like he looks a little too smooth in some spots. So I'm gonna add a few more scales, like here, with like just a sort of a blackish gray color. Gotta have texture on your skink. Don't even talk to me until you've textured your skink. If I come in there and that skink is smooth, ooh, you're gonna be in trouble. Alright, nice. Looking good. Maybe the blue should have come from the head down. That's true. I was just picturing him filling up like a bottle, where like the tail would fill up first. Crazy Bussy, hey, 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 I'm sorry. Not sorry enough! If I didn't know what this was, I would say no. Okay, nuts. Do you think Native America planned that? I do now. I am, because that's cursed and Crazy Taxi isn't always bad. You got fooled by Tricky Tony. Pepe Sylvia. Charlie, what's his face? Pepe Sylvian. I'm not sorry because the new Crazy Taxi is chock full of AI slop. I heard about that and it's gonna get Boulder trauma. I once made a doodle about the whole pests in the workplace where it was me, a mouse that I am, watching the training video about mice being pests and looking really unimpressed by the discrimination. Pepe Sylvia is the guy he's conspiracying about. Catherine, the man is you. Thank you. Toby's on a 10-stream streak. Smooth skinks. There are no kinks in the skinks. That's right. Oh, neat. Katie's the man now. I texture my skin. Do you know why? Because I'm 50 shades of fucked up. So stupid. Curse you, autocorrect ruined my joke. Did you? It didn't look fucked up to me. I still laughed. I'm 50 shades of fucked up is so funny. I can't stop thinking about that. It's funny for the same reason that people calling him Sans Undertale is funny. That's not his name. His name... The name of the guy in 50 Shades is Christian Grey, and I think it would be really funny if it was just Christian 50 Shades. Oh my god. Okay, let's do... I think I said this earlier in the stream, but I am planning on doing another Sunday stream, by the way. Same time as last time, same time as the Wednesday streams. That's 6:30 to 8:30. And then I really can say that I sometimes stream on Sunday, because it'll be twice, which is more than once, which is twice. I'm gonna put some, like, white shines on the wood grain here to give it more of a 3D feeling. There we go. So yeah, I'm hoping this part-time job will give me a source of amusing tales to tell you guys. So far, nothing particularly hilarious has happened, but you know, if you work in a customer-facing job for pretty much more than a few days, things start to get really silly, so I'm sure I'll have some funny stories for you soon. So I remember when I first started streaming, I felt like I had a never-ending well of funny stories. But it's been like 6 years now, so I'm running out. Turn Skink into Skin. Oh, I textured my Skink. Do you know why? Because I'm 50 Shades of Freed Up. Oh my goodness. The name of the guy in 50 Shades is in fact Sans Deltarune. 50 Shades of Bad Time. Isn't your name Vap Trulia, though? Same Vap Time, same Vap Channel. Fat Brain's Forest Odyssey. That's her name. That's right. A lot of people don't know this, but that is in fact my name. Okay, I'm gonna do a little trick that I sometimes do. I can't flip my canvas, obviously, even though that's a good practice for artists to see if there's anything they need to correct. But I can take a photo of my canvas on my phone, and then I can flip that around. So I'm gonna do that to see if there's anything I want to adjust here. Interesting. Yeah, like lets me see it in a whole new light. Here I can show you guys. Let me turn off my portrait lock or whatever you call it. There we go. Yeah, that looks good actually. Does it need anything though? Skink, 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 skink. I think I'm losing it. Remember the story you told us about the guy at the supermarket that didn't believe dogs could look up? I don't even remember that. It's like that one McDonald's commercial from the 90s, that green flying blob guy really wanted food named I Am Hungry. Kickstarter stretch goal to make Fab change her name to Rain's Forest Odyssey. That's a good idea. Is he thinking of pigs? Warnev says, you don't gotta do all that to flip your canvas. All you have to do is rotate the canvas in the 4th dimension. Oh, I'm so stupid. I should have done that. Stupid, stupid, stupid. I'm an idiot. You're doing Sandstorm, but with the word skink. Skididididid. Skididididid. I don't think it's possible, Boulder. I'm sorry. Not only is juice good, but I'm so glad I tuned in tonight. Oh, I'm glad. I remember it so you don't have to rotate the canvas in your mind. I do remember a guy at my local grocery store who was trying to tell another guy about how you can't give beer and soda to dogs. Never really got a full resolution on what that was all about. He was laughing really hard about it too. It was kind of like, hey man, did you know that you can't, you know, give beer to dogs? Or I don't even remember. But I was just standing right there like, what is happening right now? You can't give beer and soda to dogs. What are you, a cop? I know horses will drink beer, but I guess that makes sense because it's like, it's wheat. So there's, I mean, what's not to love for a beautiful horsey? But I don't think, well, actually, you know what? Come to think of it, I have known some dogs who, if you gave them beer, they'd be like, okay. Just like really, really sweet, dumb, food-motivated dogs. Anything you put in front of them, they're like, wow, for me. So I could imagine there's probably a couple dogs out there, at least, who would be stoked out of their little gourds to get a bowl of beer. You definitely shouldn't do that, though. Very bad. Very bad thing to do. Will make them sick. Very unhealthy. Dogs can have a little beer, Cecilia. No! Katie's street name is 144 because she's a gross. Rotate the canvas in your mind. Just scared the shit out of some poor woman because I was standing right at her door dropping her order off as she opened the door. I've totally had that happen to me before, where I open the door to be like, I wonder if my order is here, and the person is like literally putting it down. We both just scare each other. It's pretty awesome. Everyone likes it. Local grocery store, so that's what LGS stands for. You can't give beer and soda to dogs. What are you, a cop? I already read that. That guy was the inventor of dog water. Katie would be stoked for a bowl of beer, but hey, just because that's true doesn't mean you should say it. Tell us here now if you want a little slommy like a dog cat. Like a sog cat. What is a dog cat? I'm just making things up now. As a treat. Beer makes people sick too, though. Yeah, but I think a dog only has to drink a little of beer, you know? I guess that's true for some people too, but the number is usually just a different sort of number. And also, can you imagine having to take your precious doggy to the vet and you're all concerned and the vet's like, what happened? And you have to be like, I thought that I could give a dog some beer. Can you imagine the shame in that moment? You just know the vet would give you the most withering look on earth. Just absolutely losing faith in the new generation. That to me is like half the motivation, right? You don't want to go there. You don't want to have to tell a professional who went to veterinary school that you gave your dog beer. And it might even be like animal abuse, so they would tell someone else, like a cop. And then you'd really be upset in this fanfic that I'm writing about you. Can you guys even hear the music? Oh my god, the music's been off. There we go. Sog cat doesn't sound as funny. Dog cat's cat dog, and they made a cartoon about it. Dogs save money on beer then. Dogs save money on a lot of things. They're living a very frugal Dave Ramsey kind of lifestyle. Redeemed at Wonder Tuning to overlay because we're 50 Shades of Fucked Up, baby. Oh my god, I was looking at Instagram, I posted my fur group in the Pride Parade, and I got called a mudkip twice. Boo! Pretty ashamed to take my dog to the vet for giving it beer because my dog's a freaking lightweight. Latest entry in the If You Give a Mouse a Cookie franchise. If you give a dog a beer. Okay, I think this one is mostly done, so I'm actually going to switch back to something else I was working on earlier today. This next chapter is about giving your dog alcohol. Yeah, we're going there. Oh my god. Okay, so I've been working on these guys, the tool worms. I'm probably gonna have to adjust to my camera. These are like almost done, but I'm going in now and giving them their slimy, velvety texture, of which they're very proud. Let me just crank the brightness up a little here. Let's see, color. Each drawing needs its own little adjustment. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so we've got this guy up top, who's got his little, you know, stick and rock combo weapon. And then of course we've got the big guy. The man who's in charge. So I've heard some odd stories from people lately, IRL, about strange things that they've inherited that they didn't know they were going to inherit after a relative has passed away. Y'all ever inherited something weird? I guess I heard these stories and I was like, I want to know more. I have a friend who actually works in estate, what's the word? Like when someone passes away and then there's a person who needs to, you know, get the estate settled legally. Like that's his job, but legally he can't like tell me about his stuff at work because that's, you know, a huge violation of privacy. But I do want to ask him so bad. So I'm gonna have to live vicariously through asking my Twitch chat. Have you ever inherited something strange? What was it? And why do you think you inherited it? And any other details you would like to provide. It's your turn to entertain me. How the tables have turned. I'm here, a little jester, dancing for you all usually, but now you will dance for me. Good. I did inherit many bowls from my grandma, my paternal grandmother, when she passed. I guess she hosted a lot, but like, guys, I'm not kidding. It was like more than 50 bowls. Like, I don't think there's any hosting situation on Earth that, like, in a home anyways, that calls for 50 of these things. So I kept the best ones. I still probably have about 30. Some of them are out, and some of them are in storage. I just don't know why I have so many. Okay, let's see. Dogs are just a bunch of freeloaders. The second page says hop it all. When are they gonna get a job? One more dratini for good measure, please, please, pepperoni and cheese. Okay, one more dratini. One more. Just for health and sanity. I'm gonna put this one right here. Go ahead and transform. There we go. This one's just here to encourage our little worm to keep going. Beep, 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 beep. They're slimes! Vap idea. Vap discovers she's a Suicune now, and they have to go on a journey to find the ho-ho who screwed things up. I inherited a cat plushie my grandfather had and was protective of. Oh, that's sweet. He's still with me. His name is Socks, and he's a good kitty. That's very sweet. Uni Princess is the lawyer. I don't think I've ever inherited anything. My uncle inherited the uniform, sword, and journal of an ancestor who fought in the Civil War. He was a general. The downside, Confederate. Okay, so far you have the highest score. I didn't know this was actually a competition until you said that. But now it is, and you're winning, because that's crazy. I don't think anything in my family line worth being an inheritance. Well, yeah, but that's sort of the question, right? Like, sometimes, even if there is nothing of worth, people will get an odd idea when they're making their will and think like, you know, I'm gonna leave this, you know, collection of zebra statues to my so-and-so. And then you just find out one day and you're like, oh. And they don't often explain themselves. It just shows up and you're like, huh, okay, thank you, Peepaw. So that's kind of the type of thing I'm asking about. I don't want to hear about anyone who's inherited vast riches. That's not my question. I'm very jealous of you, and keep it to yourself. I only want to know about dumb stuff you've inherited. Or interesting. I realize I need to put a little more shadow on some of the edges of this little fellow. Kind of give him a little more feeling of depth. With an extra... Yeah, that looks a little better. I don't think I already read that. It's your turn to entertain me, says Vap, as if that's not what we're always here for. Oh, actually, I did inherit something, says Stumbles. I inherited being 50 Shades of fucked up. You got me. I didn't see it coming. Wouldn't that strange? But I kind of insert the stone figures of a pyramid in a pharaoh head. Whoa. That's crazy. Please, miss, may I have one more dratini? My brother got a sword. What type of sword? Stumbles, we're all 50 shades of fucked up. We're all here. Some of us might only be 49 shades of fucked up. Not me, but some people. We got a lot of foreign money from my aunt's travels a while ago. Foreign bills and coins. Oh, interesting. She'd just been, like, collecting them and was like, you know what? Someone else should have these now. That's kind of fun. My mom was looking through boxes the other day, and I think I told you guys this already, whoops. We found a bunch of old buffalo nickels, which I think are a really cool coin. I think they're from like the 20s and 30s? When I was 19 and working at Starbucks, enough people were using cash at that time, and even coins at that time, that occasionally I would get a neat coin in the change drawer, and I would swap it out for a normal coin so that I could take it home. So I have a buffalo nickel from that time. I've surely told the story many, many times before, but you know what? It's my stream, and I can tell my demented ravings as much as I want. But yeah, then my mom completely mogged me by being like, these are my buffalo nickels, and she had like 50 of them, and I was like, oh my god. SB mom. Alright, cleaning up a little bit of the shading. Yeah, this guy's looking cute. And he's got his spores coming out of his staff here, looking good. It's not that interesting. I did inherit a library of strange tomes from my distant reclusive uncle, who's from a cursed scion of my illustrious family. He left behind some paranoid notes. I couldn't decipher the mysterious writing, and none of the gods he mentioned were in any reference work, so I just donated them to Goodwill. Are you Dipper Pines? Socks is an interesting plushie. Never found out my granddad was so protective of him. Oh, I was allowed to play with him and hug him, couldn't take him home for some reason. That is actually, like, really... I don't know, it's kind of getting me. That's... Maybe it's because I have such a soft spot for plushies. It's really nice that he left it to someone who would care for it. Maybe there was some story or something there, or someone it reminded him of, or... I don't know. It's nice, though. There's something nice about that. It's like, nice but kind of bittersweet. Good story, Blade. I forgive you for your email. You're off the hook. For now. I gotta show you guys some of my 6 million bowls sometime. I'll get a picture of them. I didn't really know my dad's parents when they were in the prime of their lives, because they were pretty old when they had kids, and then my parents were pretty old when they had kids, so I only knew my grandparents when they were, you know, pretty darn old. But I'm starting to get this picture, looking at old photos and looking at the stuff that they left me, that I think they were, like, super, like, social, not social butterflies, but, like, I think they, like, hosted. I think they hosted, like, fancy events and dinners and stuff. They must have been, popular in their day. In all seriousness, the only thing I've inherited was some furniture, a few couches and a bed. Well, you can't go wrong, couches can be expensive. Speaking of demented ravings, tell us the time you rode a train, Catherine. When did I ride a train? We're gonna find out one of us inherited a rabbit plush from some kid who died of scarlet fever. It was Katie. Oh my god. I doubt this is related to anything, but I just looked up, and from the last time I checked my viewer count, it's dropped like 15 people. I brought up inheritance and everyone was like, no! Send a pic of socks. Oh, it would be nice to see a pic of socks, but only if you want. Don't feel obligated. Okay, I'm gonna do a little more shading on like the further back parts of this little fellow. Once again, trying to establish a little more depth here. Oh, for anyone who plays Neopets, by the way, I know a couple of you occasionally dabble in the world of Neopets. I believe the plot is finally actually wrapping up, so if you wanted to get anything in the prize shop or do any like last things, now is the time. I think they're giving us like a 2-week grace period or something like that. And then they're removing a lot of the like really expensive stuff from the prize shop. And there's gonna be some kind of like a final story wrap-up thing in the next week or two. So yeah, crazy. That plot has been going on for, I want to say almost 3 years now, so, I would be lying if I said I wasn't excited to see the end of it, but you know what? I actually did have fun, so what can you do? Oh, Spacetime Emporium is raiding. Hello, Spacetime Emporium. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing today? I'm working on, these magical worms for my D&D book. They're almost done. I'm just kind of giving them a last little bit of texture and color and stuff to make them look a little better, because I wasn't totally satisfied with their texture before. I'm gonna give this guy a new shine on that eyeball in just a minute. Make his mouth a little darker, and the edge of his hat a little bit darker. Just want to get a good sense of perspective here. There we go. Looking good. And then I'll give him a new eye shine in just a minute. Spacetime says, it's all good. I was wondering what you were making, lol. Looking good. Yes, these are, they're called tool worms in my game, but they're based on a real-life animal called the velvet worm, which is a very beautiful, strange little worm that lives in the rainforest. And they're like one of the only worms that we know of that actually like hunts in packs and has a little bit of social structure. They're not like super sophisticated, so like don't get it twisted. They're not like wolves where they're like, you know, coordinating hunts. But I guess they have a social structure. I think they're like matriarchal. And yeah, there's like a dominance hierarchy and stuff. They're really neat little guys. Here's a real photo of one that I based this specific worm off of. You can see they're really quite beautiful. And they shoot little slime darts to catch their bug prey. It's pretty sick. What were you streaming today? I've been talking about worms for too long. Goodbye, worm. Okay, let me catch up here. Sent a pic of socks and IRL posting. The train story, Katie, from when you were a kid. I don't remember. I did already, silly sog. I have not dabbled since the plot first resumed last summer. There's a Neopet plot? Yes, occasionally Neopets will do plots, which is basically like a series of mini games and events that happen on the website. They hadn't done one in a long time, and then a couple of years ago they started one up by popular demand, and it wasn't perfect, but it had a lot of really fun things about it. I think the main issue they ran into is that it just, because they don't have a lot of resources, it took them a really long time to roll it all out, probably longer than people actually wanted, but you know what? It was a good first attempt since they haven't done one in a long time, so. If you think your grandparents were old, my grandfather was a World War II vet. My mom was 10th out of 11th kids. Dang. Let me see. So my grandma was born in 1922. So she was quite old, and she was the youngest of, I believe, 12 kids, not to mog you, but she was. She was born on a homesteading farm in rural Minnesota, where people just died of like preventable diseases and stuff. The Great Depression was a different time. Like, things are not super peachy keen now, but man, they were not having a lot of fun in rural Minnesota, I'll tell you that. It was super buggy when I first came back. Dunk wild. When it returned, I couldn't earn any daily prizes. Slowly got more and more upset, and that's the last I logged in. Would you still love me if I was a magical worm? Neopets is a story mode? Kind of. I'm trying to get more art instead of Neopet OCs. I was wondering if you were making already read that. It's got events that count as a new story stumble. Swap it, pinged you for socks plushie. Thank you. Are they Ant or B levels of social structure? No, they are not. Even lower. That's pretty cool. I was making a D&D map. Oh, sick. How's it coming out? Rings is Boulder. Can they walk or do they slip and slide? They walk like caterpillars, so pretty slow. Are there alpha worms? Your Windows alert just went on the stream that. Oh, I wonder what that was. Socks. What a good kitty. Katie doesn't remember the train story. If she rode the train with her dad and brother, she rode it 3 times before the dementia's setting in. Well, I mean, I rode the train with my dad and brother a lot. What happened in the story? Would you still love me if I were at the bottom of the worm hierarchy? Would you still love me if I was 50 shades of fucked up? I'd have to sleep with one eye open thanks to Bolter. From the design of socks, I wonder if he's a childhood plushie if your grandpa is. Possible, I guess. Toby is a bit sooty in his face. Is the rediscovery of the same grandmother and we're like cousins because you were born in Ohio and my family is from Ohio? My family was only in Ohio for a couple years while my dad was playing in the Cincinnati Chamber Orchestra, I believe. So it's not like we have roots in Ohio. We were just, we were there when I was a baby. If that helps. If that helps you be less afraid that we might, in fact, be related. Yeah. Putting little polka dots on this guy. Painting a Leafeon right now. It's really starting to understand your hate of green, Katie. Yes, join me. Join me in hating this most malodorous color. Is that even a word? I said that like I was so sure. Malodorous? Okay, hang on, I gotta look this up. I think that's a word. Maybe. Hi Flair, how are you? Hanging with friends in VR chat, just wanted to say hi. Well, hello, always a pleasure to see you. Malodorous. Yes, smelling very unpleasant. Okay, well, it is a word, I didn't use it correctly. It's coming along, almost ready to color it all in. That sounds sick. Sounds like a word, might as well be one. Malodorous is a word, it means stinky, I think. Wow, look at us go. We're doing so good. Okay, I want to do some darker stripes on Mr. Man. I actually have no idea what the genders of these worms are. And you know what? I don't think that the worms maybe even know. I cannot imagine that Tool Worm Society even really considers gender at all. I think that is completely irrelevant to them. All they care about is, tools. They've got their eyes on the prize, you know what I mean? And the prize is making new tools that aren't as bad as the old ones. Y'all see they're making a movie about a guy who got swallowed by a whale? I don't think that can happen because of the whale's, you know, throat anatomy. However, I do really want to watch it because, I mean, what a thrill, right? Jonah 2.0, let's go. I gotta see what he does in there. What's the vision? And the trailer sets it up as though it was just like an honest mistake, which I think is really funny. I was not expecting that. I thought it was gonna be like, you know, I don't know, the whale goes after him or it's a metaphor or something. But no, the whale just straight up accidentally swallows him because it's chasing down a colossal squid, and the diver gets sort of tangled up in the squid, and then they both get swallowed together. Which is just really funny. Just a total, like, the whale probably doesn't even know. It's just like, man, that squid sure was kicky. It sure kicked more than normal squids did. Anyway, back to being a whale, and like, it's so funny to me. I thought it was gonna be sort of a Moby Dick thing of like, it's man versus the evil whale. No, just a funny accident. What could be better than that? I thought the toolworms put the females on top. Yeah, that's true. The only worm gender is worm. Toolworms one day just be like, oh, I laid eggs. Wait, is the movie an adaptation of Whalefall? It is! It's called Whalefall! Wow, Toby, you're so well read. Pinocchio got eaten by a whale. That's true. I read that book a while back and it was a pretty stressful read, and the whale was a metaphor for his dad. Okay, well, you know, the dad did feature weirdly heavily in the trailer, so I would absolutely believe that the whale is a metaphor for his dad in the movie too. Dad was saying a lot of sort of well-meaning but high-pressured things in the trailer that made me be like, oh boy, that's a challenging type of dad to have. Dad who just is really serious about his mission all the time, and his mission is to make you prepared for life. Like, oh boy, that's a lot of pressure. But you know, if he got swallowed by the whale, then his dad was right. He did need to be prepared, so like, that's kind of a confusing message, isn't it? Well, hard to say. I'll have to go see it. Don't you mean he's so well read? I was not expecting it to ever get a movie. It is pretty gruesome. Oh boy, I remember the time my dad accidentally ate me. Dad, would you still love me if I got swallowed up by a whale and got 50 Shades of Free? Of course. I'd be very proud of you, in fact. Oh my god. A whale meaning dad? The plot twist is definitely the whale is his dad. Sounds like a faithful adaptation so far. How many books do you read in a week? His dad is so serious about scuba diving. That's the thing, is Paladin Oath is for the thing he's gung-ho about to the point his wife leaves him. Yeah, that's definitely what the trailer kind of was getting across, so I think this is all correct. I don't remember exactly what his dad said in the trailer, but I do remember thinking like, oh man, this guy's gotta take it easy. Let this be a lesson to everyone here. If you have kids, do not skimp out on the swallowed by a whale moral lessons and physical lessons. How do you get out of there? Real talk, I want to learn scuba. My friend wants to learn nothing beauty, can't go to Okinawa like we planned. We're doing an indoor diving. Indoor diving is, I think, the way you have to learn, so that's good. Being swallowed by a whale builds character. It probably does before you die. Okay, it is probably time for me to finish because I have completely finished this painting and the other painting I was working on. I'm like straight up out of things to do. I'm just talking about a movie I watched a trailer for. So I'm gonna send a raid over to Poison Jackal, who I think we've raided this person before. They are like a traditional, like, I'm trying to remember what it is. They're a very cool traditional artist. It says they're varnishing. Oh, they're working on like they're working on a charcoal illustration of what looks like a magical bearded dragon. Very sick. Okay. Lizard to lizard collaboration, so that'll all work out well. Thank you so much, everybody. Stay soggy, gamers, and I will see you on Friday. Have a wonderful evening. Raid message is truly a raid. Browse horse statue websites. Smell you later, indeed. Goodbye. Thanks for being 50 Shades of fucked up with me.
I'm welcome. Truly a raid. Truly.